Okay, so he actually released the video. That's fun. All right, we're gonna watch this and let's see how terrible it can get.
So I just completed a 30-minute video called Silencing All Survivors that addresses pretty much everything. It addresses criticisms. It addresses my approach. It includes apologies. It includes um,
Okay, a lot of this is just gonna be him making weird pauses and groaning sounds and sighing and stuff. So, for the purposes of my sanity, I'm going to make this at 1.75 speed just to see if we can get all the fucking shitty fluff out of the way and we can get to the main point of this.
a call to action on Camden. A little bit of information about everything, like
Uh, you know what? It's a little too much. Let's do 1.5.
but I showed it to some trusted friends and the survivors. Some people loved it. Some people had a few criticisms, and then some people hated it and told me not to upload it. I've got people telling me just talk about the case and nothing else. I've got people telling me just address the criticisms. I've got people telling me just apologize. Um, I feel like I'm being pulled in every which way, and no matter how hard I try, I cannot make everyone happy.
See, with leadership qualities, you wouldn't have this problem because the leader knows how to handle these situations. The problem here is that you don't have leadership qualities. It's almost like you got away with conning a bunch of people, and now it's kind of just falling. It's falling apart, isn't it? That's really what it is.
I'm trying to prioritize the survivors over myself, but then where do I put like the general public in that priority list? Um, and it's very difficult. I feel like I'm in an impossible position where I just can't seem to do the right thing. Um, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry I can't make all of you happy. I'm sorry to Charlie for dragging him into a case that is not necessarily his fight.
Yeah, you've done that for years. You've done that multiple times, and it was always this weird side with me or you side with pedos mindset. That's what you always initially did. It's just this time you went a little too far, bud. You went ahead and you dared defy the great moist critical. Really, realistically, it's fucked up, but that's where you majorly took an L right there. And from then on, your momentum kind of was already a little shaky and it hit a brick wall of sorts. You didn't make it any better for yourself as time went on, but really that was your first downfall of this whole thing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to my audience who don't even know what the heck is going on. Like I'm uploading shorts, I'm doing live streams, I'm doing weird ass videos, just trying to find the remaining survivors of Camden Gerard Davis. That has always been the goal for this awareness campaign. And while it's worked in some respect, it's also caused a lot of issues. I don't want to cause issues. I want to resolve these issues. I don't want any. I don't want beef with anyone. Like I want to communicate openly. I'm trying to communicate with my peers.
I mean, for somebody that said he doesn't want beef, he sure didn't give a damn about going ahead and, in one of those little shorts with like the little codes and stuff, the little cute little codes that he does. He didn't mind taking another shot at Moist Critical in there, which made a couple other people roll their eyes again, showing that this guy is pretty freaking petty, if nothing else. So,
And I'm trying to listen to dissenting voices. I'm trying. And I'm trying to listen to voices I trust too. And every single person is telling me something different. And I don't know what to do. And that's why I've been asking for help.
Oh, you need a lot of help,
People
trust me.
say, just wait for law enforcement to do something. But we've waited 7 years and they haven't done anything.
There it comes. Here's some
So
info,
we decided
though.
to just go public with it and put eyes on him. And people wanted evidence, so we've been inviting people to our little server where we have the evidence.
Scuffed
But then people
server.
don't want to listen to the survivors when they're in there and just look at the evidence and conclude it's nothing.
See, that's the thing, Max. If we were to listen and believe just like you seem to want people to do, we would have listened and believed to the 7 or 5 or 4 women that came out against you and all said you did all this stupid shit. Well, again, a lot of the evidence, quote unquote evidence against you was pretty shoddy and bad. This is really one of the only reasons you had a shot in the dark of that in the first place. Amongst your other, connections, giving you like some, shield of sorts. But other than that, like, point is, if we were to take your mindset, if we were to take your mindset, you would have been canceled. What was that, a year ago? Yeah. So I don't. You doomed yourself by your own rules, homie. It's bound to happen.
And people are making all these public attacks, not platforming any of us, not wanting to talk to the survivors themselves. And when people do talk to the survivors, they're getting attacked just because they're transgender.
I hate this particular part because he's making it one of those issues. Like, he's making it it's because they're different kind of issue and stuff. I guarantee you, I mean, if you didn't already know, Max is a liar and he will lie. Generally speaking, I'm saying everybody, and this should be like common knowledge to most people that have critical thinking abilities. Most people will lie all the fucking time, or at least scarcely throughout their lives, right? It is impossible to be a human being truly without lying at one point or another. Especially if you're at a position of power like this, you will often throw out lies here and there. The trick is, and what certain celebrities like this will do, is they'll lie less and get caught less. That's what they'll do. The problem here is that this idiot over here decided to start doing live streams where he could get caught with lies in real time. That is why my preferred outcome for confronting detractors is always a live stream. A live stream environment where there's equal moderation, where there doesn't need to be somebody talking over the other person. I just present the facts and I'll destroy you. That's how it's always been. The problem here is, and Max Stryker, this guy over here, this nutcase, had the perfect opportunity to do that, but he failed because he's not good enough. He's one of those people that just relies on smoke and mirrors. He's not really good by himself. It's all presentation and perception, bitch. That's what it is. It's perception bitch entertainment. Right? You think he's like powerful and he's got all these magical powers, but in reality it's just fluff. All right? And this just showed his lies way too much. That's why if you're a grandmaster at lying, you should never get on a live stream unless you're really good about navigating those things. Which, spoiler alert, this guy was not.
This has been very difficult. And I know if I could have just started with making everything clear from the beginning, maybe this could have all been avoided. And I take accountability for that. I just thought that if people wanted to know what was going on, they would just go to the podcast. And we put the podcast on Spencer's channel to help her build her own platform, because survivors need more than just a voice. They need financial help. They need psychological help. They need medical care. They need a loving family. They need a roof over their head. Survivors need a lot. And I've been trying to provide that. And it's not enough. And it feels like when we reach out for help, people just want to use that opportunity to attack us,
just,
to hate on me.
Look at these pauses, man. I swear to God. Like, I don't know how. It's a 7-minute video, and it feels like we've gotten almost little to nothing out of this. And it's all fucking pauses, and it's just so fucking annoying.
It's hard. This is really hard.
Like, one of the tricks to public speaking that presents confidence is generally don't try to, like, you can take as much time as you want to answer something realistically, and it's a lot better than giving like an kind of thing, right? But in this guy's case, he's just floundering so much that it just doesn't apply. Not to mention, he doesn't seem particularly confident about anything that's going on. It's almost like he's trying to emotionally bait most people of his audience or whatever's left of it into thinking he's actually really sorry about this situation. I personally think, given what I've seen over the years, he is most likely a narcissist, so he pretty much doesn't give that much of a fuck. Not to say that you can't have a healthy-ish or amicable relationship with a sociopath or a narcissist. That is very possible. That happens quite often in the entertainment industry because a lot of those people are, haha, guess what? Narcissists and sociopaths. Wow, who could have thought? Who would have thought that? I don't know. I mean, just about anybody if you open your mind to it and realize. But yeah, that's the point. I mean, Max Stryker might be a narcissist or a sociopath, but at the end of the day, are you going to believe any little bit of hearsay at him at this point? It seems like public opinion is headed in that direction. Even very shady people that don't really deserve any victim points are now getting victim points. At the end of the day, it's this douchebag's fault, really. Again, I think for me, personally, the thing that pisses me off the most about Max Stryker over here is that he allowed the bad faith actors to gain credibility, and the people that never deserve to have any victimhood in them gain credibility and relevance. And that's all this guy's fault. That is literally, well, this guy's fault. That is the worst sin out of this whole thing. All right? You want to talk about survivors and shit? Go be Mother Teresa. All right? My main gripe with this and the big picture here, this fucking con man that everybody let get away with this shit for fucking years. You know, his grift ends because of his own downfall, and that is tragic. And that's going to have a domino effect of a lot of fucking idiots out there that are going to gain that power. It's almost like a parasitic bullshit exchange where they're going to take in and cipher Max Stryker's bullshit fucking clout. And then we're going to give rise to other bad faith actors. And it's just a fucking shitty, parasitic, disgusting relationship between everybody. These are the types of reasons that I dislike people so heavily. At least the e-celebrity people, right? The other YouTuber people, for the most part.
So let's just start from the beginning. I met Spencer. She told me what happened to her. I told her I was busy with other projects, but if you need me to hand this to someone else, I will. She said, no, I want you. And so a few years later, I finally came back and I was like, okay, are you ready? And we did the podcast. And while I was there listening to her, that's when I realized this is going to evolve into something much more. Like, originally, I just wanted to do a podcast where we platform survivors and they tell their story. But you can't just tell your story anymore. Now you need concrete evidence.
I'm gonna just say that is the stupidest thing you have ever fucking said. You can't tell your story, homie. You just need evidence. And I gotta point this out again, because again, as a person that points out all the facts, even if, no matter what, ladies and gentlemen, the facts must ultimately be presented. So, we're using Maxi Boy's logic over here. He's basically saying that you should really go ahead and take a woman's word or quote unquote victim in this scenario, their words very, very face value ish, right? And this is completely different than the stupid tone he was singing when he was getting, presumably me too'd by 5 other women and stuff. So I just want you all to acknowledge the drastic change in, him wanting you to believe every woman to now, or back then, not wanting you to believe every woman, and now current day wanting you to believe every woman, so long as it's under his watch. I just needed to point that out for MaxiPad over here. And just to show that his layer of incompetence just doesn't, it just never really ends. Does it? This guy has to be one of the most incompetent motherfuckers I have ever met. How he was able to hold a cult following for this long is fucking disgusting. How people, big creators, were fooled by this con man for so long, or they saw it as a necessary evil to keep him around, is fucking disgusting. And, once again, it reinforces my point as to why I hate most YouTubers.
Now you need to go to law enforcement multiple times. Now you need to consult with lawyers. Like, we can't just...
That is the legal process, is it not? The legal process is a thing for a reason, Maxi boy, MaxiPad.
Just listen to survivors when they're screaming for help.
Okay, but what if they're lying, dog? What if they're not really survivors? What if they're just like the people that were presumably Me Tooing you, pal?
And that's why I've been taking all these creative, experimental approaches to try to bolster their voice. So that not only can they be heard, but they can be seen and they can be addressed. And I'm sorry to Charlie. I really am sorry. I did not mean to make you upset. We just need help. So, instead of addressing all the random rumors that people make up and responding to criticism and talking about the wrongdoings of other influencers, I'm just going to take accountability for my actions and correct them starting now. Let's just start fresh. First, we need to keep finding the remaining survivors. We know they are out there, and we need...
I gotta see. All right, I gotta see. What is he gonna continue on with the Camden Gerard Davis thing? Oh, it looks like he is.
Need help finding them. If you don't want to help, you don't have to. But if you do, please...
Camden Gerard Davis's ghost is haunting me.
Please reach out to me. We will invite you to our server, where all of the survivors and all of the evidence is growing.
Wonder who's in that server. Kappa. Lol.
Next, we have to wait for law enforcement. And multiple law teams who specialize in cold cases.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Take this to them, as we have already done, and address it through the proper channels.
Yeah. You're an idiot.
When that is complete, or if that goes unresolved, then we will drop the full documentary. Or at least part 1 of the documentary.
Part 1, homie?
I guess at this point it would be like part 2 or 3, but... we will show you everything.
Sure you will, MaxiPad. Oh my lord.
I hope you can all understand my
pauses. Look at these fucking pauses. His pauses are trying to show that he's being authentic, but he's just being an idiot.
Position.
I'm so authentic, guys. I'm gonna do 5-second to 10-second pauses and then exasperate my breath. Shut the fuck up.
We are living in a world where survivors
live in a society.
Scream for help and no one wants to listen.
Help me, Max. Help me. Your stupidity is making me a victim.
There are children living in literal hell.
We gotta save the children, ladies and gentlemen. The children. I care so much about the children, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta save them. We gotta save them. Alright, yeah, bro, I believe you. I totally believe you, dog. Jesus fucking Christ.
And we can't hear them.
Trigger warning. Oh shit, trigger warning. I guess that means I should be on my way. No, but seriously, this shit was garbage. It was terrible. I guess I gave you the
Triple
gist of
care.
it. You can see the last 3 minutes if you want. I think it's just Camden Gerard Davis bullshit and then him reading off the rest of his fucking shitty Patreons or whatever there. This is fucking terrible. This is one of the worst apologies. I think it actually beats Colleen Ballinger's apology where she's using the ukulele and shit. Maybe somebody should make like a fucking deep fake of Max using the ukulele and stuff. That would have been a better fucking bullshit response or there or whatever fuck there. That's right. I'm just saying words now. Anyway, that's all I have for this. I could have been like one of the other streamers and then stretch this out for multiple hours and collect donations, but I don't feel like grifting or being that much of a disingenuous hack. So I'm just going to give you this live reaction 20-minute video for your digestive pleasure. Anyway, that's all I have for this. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the week. Goodbye.